So this is the sauce that I make for my crab cakes. We got some mayonnaise, got some sriracha, fresh clove of garlic, kosher salt, and then finally here, just a little bit of white sugar. With any mayonnaise sauce that you make, you definitely want to give it a minimum of about a half an hour to set up from once you originally make it. So we're going to take our bowl, we're going to take the sriracha.
Okay.
We're going to dump it right in. While I crush the clove of garlic, why don't you mix that up for me real quick?
Sure.
Very simple, just, ooh.
Living on the edge there, Tom.
That was fantastic. Then I just like to run a knife through it real quick.
Now this is all nice and happy. This is going to be a spicy one, I can tell by the color.
And then just the sugar, we're going to add that in. And then finally our pinch of salt.
Kind of making me work today, Tom. All right, so we've got everything here.
We've got some fresh cracked crab. We got our salt. We've got some saltine crackers, 1 egg. We've got a red and green bell pepper that we're going to dice, 1 shallot that we're going to chop up. We've got some mayonnaise, pickled jalapeno, 2 cloves of fresh garlic that have been crushed. We've got a little Old Bay seasoning, and then some salt if we need any final seasoning, and a little bit of cilantro. Once you understand the inner workings of a crab, it's really easy. They've got a little flap that's on the bottom of them. You can take a butter knife or a sharp-pointed little knife and just kind of flap it up. Once you get that started, you just want to break that off. And that'll give you a little pocket now to get in here with your thumbs, because what you want to do is you want to separate the top part of the shell from the body of the crab. It's going to get a little graphic.
All right, great. Well, let's see what you got.
All right, let's see if we can get this guy open.
Oh my God, freaked me out. Yeah, ooh, that is pretty gross. That's pretty funky.
What you'll see here is these white little pieces on the side. These are their lungs, and then right in the middle, you've got what is a combination between their liver and their pancreas. So we'll just take and separate the lungs right off. They just pull off the crab. You just want to clean up the little bits and pieces here. So you just want to take some cold water, get it going, and you can see it just washes out of there. Nice and easy. We're just going to bust it in half. And then the easiest way to do it is just take and turn.
Twist them off.
And twist them off. You can go out to your local hardware store and get a simple little mallet like
little
this.
Rubber one.
So the way you want to do it is I actually move my cutting board to the edge of my counter. But if I take and turn this sideways and I get the hammer, hear how that pops?
Yeah.
You just want to take it, you can turn it around, and you don't need to break it all the way open. With the claw, I like to break this open, separate kind of the arm from the actual mitt. Just break it till it starts to open up. For the mitt part of the claw, I like to turn it so the pincher claws are curved up a little bit. Right in here, get it going, spin it around, and then you kind of take it right there at the knuckle. The rest of the crab legs, you just want to repeat that process. When you're all done with that, then you come to the body. And this is where the biggest chunks of meat can be. What I like to do with the body is I like to give it a little bit of a squish first. That makes it a little bit easier to get into the shell compartments. What I do is I just start from one side, just start peeling it open. And they just break into little sections. It makes it a little bit easier to kind of get in. And if you find a piece that's kind of jammed in there pretty good and you're not sure how you're going to get that out, the toe. Exactly.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is just bust that toe off. There's no meat in there, and that acts like a little pick, and you just reach right in.
Yank it out.
So with getting the meat out of the legs is where you find that you've broke it open. Is you just help it along a little bit further. Literally just lift that leg segment right out of there, and that is a beautiful piece of crab. That's a good chunk right there. There's a little piece of cartilage that runs on the inside, so when you crack it, it'll come out, look like feathers. So now, you just go in there.
And yank it out. Look at that big old chunk of meat right there. I hear that you've got some type of helper of some sort, or...
My daughter, Taylor.
Come on down, you're the next contestant on Chop Your Finger Off.
I will not chop my finger off.
You won't?
No, I won't.
For the bell pepper, we don't need a whole lot because we want the bell pepper just to be an accent. Cut it into little fine planks, and the smaller you can make the planks at the beginning, the easier it is to chop.
All right.
And then she can turn it around sideways.
And work her magic with that big knife.
And work her magic with the big knife.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And let's just push that over to the side, and then we'll do the green bell pepper.
That looks good. Good job.
Just gonna do the
Sir
same
Pop's
thing.
a lot over here. He's gonna work out that part for you. She's focused. Look at that focus. Isn't that awesome?
Shallots are really easy to do. So if you just take your time, you eventually can just peel it
layer off.
You can put a couple of grooves in it sideways like this, a couple of cuts away, then turn it around, and then kind of come down through like this.
Jalapeno.
We're just gonna put this right in here for now.
All right.
And then for the cilantro, just take it, kind of twist off a bunch of it, tuck it into a ball, and we don't want this to overpower the crab cake.
Sure.
We just want it to be in the background.
So what else we can put in there now?
We want to crack the egg.
Okay.
We're going to beat that up with just a little bit of salt.
All right.
What the salt does is it allows the egg to break down. We're also going to beat a little bit of air into it. Then what I like to do is take the mayonnaise, add it into the egg. We're also going to take the garlic as well as the Old Bay seasoning. And I just like to stir this up a little bit because this makes it a little bit more consistent throughout the crab cake. Add that right in over the top. And just give it a little fold and we'll kind of bring it all together on the first pass.
All right. I think it's pretty mixed.
All right, great.
Now what are we going to do with these shallots and the pepper?
So what we're going to do is transfer those over to a saucepan, medium-high heat. Going to add a little olive oil. Saute those up briefly until they begin to become translucent, and then as soon as they cool down, we're going to add them in. And then the last step we have to do is just break up the crackers. Maybe we can have Taylor do this too.
Oh.
So
Hey, all right.
we add the crackers right into the bag. We seal it up nice and tight, get all the air out of it, right? And then we just start breaking them up with a rolling pin. If you take the air out of it, like you saw Taylor do in the beginning, there's less likelihood that it'll break on you.
Yeah.
So this is where we really look to see if we need any adjustments. Is it sticking together okay?
Ice cream scoop, yeah.
That way everything comes out consistent and about the same size. And then you're just going to flatten it into a puck. And this is where you got to be careful. Kind of really help it. We're going to finish forming it right on the foil.
Okay. How long are we going to leave them in the fridge?
So we're going to leave them at least an hour. If you can give them a couple of hours, that's even better.
It looks good. All right, great. We got our crab cakes out. Let's get this thing cooked up. All right, so you got a little oil. Get that nice and hot.
We're just going to add in our crab cakes.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I'm just going to mix that around so they all get a little bit of oily love. While he's browning up, sometimes I like to spin them just so they get color on evenly across the cake.
Oh, broke it!
They're so delicate.
That's all right. We'll give that to you.
And
your wife. Do it. Okay, that's mine. They smell good. These look good.
Let's get them in the oven.
It's
God,
just
that
hanging
sucked,
out.
those broke. Man, that sucked.
I know. It's okay, buddy. All right, great. So we're going to dress these plates up.
I like to do a special little presentation with the sauce. A tablespoon. Place a little dollop right there at the end, and then just kind of fan it across to give it a nice little presentation. I think our crab cakes are ready to roll.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, look at how tender these turned out. They actually started falling apart.
Look at that. They're holding together just fine.
Not bad.
I think once you flipped them over, it was okay.
A little fresh tomato around
Yummy.
and on top.
Okay.
Nice little hint of freshness, and then finish it with the green onion.
Nice.
And there it is.
Awesome. Let's give it a whirl.
All right. Ooh, look at all that crab in there.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Good.
Oh my God.